Take two. Here we are again.
We have returned.
The rain is getting harder. I think the internet connection is actually maybe a little bit iffy right now. So we're going to try this again. All the people who were just on, come play with us. We're live again. We're here.
Come along, come along.
Okay, so you're going to have to watch part one to get, because we're just going to start right where we left off.
We're going to keep going.
We're going to keep going. Okay, so we were talking about nothing worth having ever comes easy. Is like a thing in life.
Yeah.
That and I bought into that. So I bought that if I worked hard enough, if I sweated hard enough, if I put in, and things were really hard and slow, but that would things that were worth having, that were amazing and brilliant. When I took my first foundation class, or even started listening to radio shows of people who were using the Access tools, this whole thing about ease, I was like, really? It can be easy? Like, it can be that easy just to ask for it, or it can just be that easy? Now, ease and easy is different.
They're different. Different.
All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory does not mean that your life will be easy. And I've talked about this before in other videos. It does not mean you will have an easy life. Your life will not show up on a silver platter. Hi, Christine. Silver platter like that for you. It does mean that you will be able to handle whatever shows up in your life with ease.
With ease.
The good, the bad, the ugly. You will be able to handle it with ease. You will have the information that's required. Because choosing all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory is a choice. And yeah, so do you have an example of like where something came up in your life that you could handle? Like, that was not easy. I mean, it was life. Like, there's other people involved in your life, and other people make different choices, and sometimes they're a pain in the ass, but you can handle it with ease.
Yeah. So one of the things that probably most of us have experienced is going to the grocery store, and you're ready for paying, and you go to the till, and it is the slowest process going through the through the till, even though it maybe has the less people in the lineup. You think that's going to be the fast one. Thinking that's going to be the quickest one. And and so you're waiting in line, and the people are counting their pennies. Well, in Canada we don't have pennies anymore, and counting so in that situation for myself, I take that as a place to play and say, oh, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, and fun. So what can I be here in this lineup, the slowest checkout line ever, to create fun for me? Now, that's not destroying stuff, and it's not, creating havoc and these other things. It's, so maybe I actually start a conversation with the person in front of me, or, it can show up in all kinds of ways. When you ask a question, the universe delivers.
The question is the key. And the universe delivers a conclusion, actually, too. I mean, if you have the conclusion that it's going to be hard, that worth having ever comes easy, if you live your life from that conclusion, that's what will show up for you.
The universe delivers.
It delivers everything you ask.
Everything you ask for.
So what are you asking for? And if you're wondering what you're asking for, it's probably what's showing up in your life right now. Yeah, so hi, Shauna. Hey, guys.
Hi.
So if what's showing up in your life right now isn't something that's really easy for you to handle, there's something easier than this, or a different way. What if you could ask for ease with this? what if I could have ease with this, what would that be like? Show me. I wonder what it would be like to have ease with this. Like, so say your spouse, I mean, they just drive us crazy sometimes. Like, actually, things have changed dynamically with my spouse this summer, but previously we grain farm as well, and he would get really crazy of the farmer reality and really buy into it and really go crazy on the weather. Like, you stayed with us last summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wasn't really that bad, but you could probably perceive the energy. Like, he'll tone it down when people are at our house. But it's really funny because he gets really intense, and he would do, like, because he sprays our crops. So Travis runs a sprayer, so he's always on the weather, and he would have this expectation that this week he would get to spray all of the wheat. He's going to spray all the wheat in 4 days, and he would start building his life around that conclusion, because it's not a question of, will I be able to spray the wheat this week? No, I'm going to spray the wheat this week, and this is how it's going to be. So the weather, I mean, and then he had like this conflict energy with the weather all the time. I think he actually really, there was something he loved about being dramatic with the weather. So it's so funny because he'll come home and he would do his little thing for me, and he'd be like, oh my God, I was spraying in this field and it was like blue skies, and I was going along and it was spraying, and there's this one cloud that came along and it went and it rained all over the crop, and now I'm gonna have to respray it. And like, that's what he would do. He would have all these and he would like pretend he was the cloud. I'm not kidding you. He would do the thing. It was so fucking funny. And at first, in the beginning, I didn't see the humor in it. I actually got really annoyed by him, and we would start fighting, and I would tell him to quit being so stupid. And after that, I just started laughing. I just like. I was asking, how can I have ease with him and being in relationship with him with this? And I just started seeing the humor in it. It was so funny. And I actually videotaped him one time. And so I showed him the video after. Like, it started to dissipate faster because I found the humor in it, that he would, his little moments would last for like 10 or 15 minutes, you know, whereas before they would go for days. But because I was being interesting point of view about what was going on with him, and I was finding the humor in it, because laughter changes everything. Laughter creates the change.
Yeah.
It's not the tears, it's not the drama, it's the laughter. So when I'm going to that, and he almost can't help it, and then I could perceive his energy change, and then I would show him the video, and then he would actually laugh about it too. And then I would like tease him, like if we were driving in the truck and he was about to go off on something, and I would be like, oh, are you going to be that cloud again? And just, and he would be like, so ask for ease in relationship. What would that be like? And so when you're looking for that, you start to see things in a way that you never saw them before. I didn't used to see humor in how he was, but then I started.
Yeah. Humor, you know, and it's not the hysterics.
No.
It's different. The humor, the lightness, you know, you don't have to, it's a choice. You can stay in the heavy and the dark, you know, absolutely, and that's not wrong. And if you are asking for change, for something different, asking for the humor and the light in all things to show you and show up, it will show you and it will show up, and it won't be how you think it will show up.
Oh my God, it never shows up like you think it will.
Ever. Never, ever.
And maybe you don't get, I know I used to be like, what do you even mean by that? I mean, everything always shows up like I think it will, because I had a lot of conclusions about how everything would show up, and that's exactly what showed up. Until I started asking more questions. And what I started asking for started showing up in a way that I could never imagine possible. Mm-hmm. And it's all of a sudden the energy is there, and it's like, boom. And thank you for all the hearts.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
I know, it's fun getting hearts, isn't it? More hearts, please.
That is awesome.
What was I talking about?
I don't know. I got distracted about all the hearts.
I know, right? Like
over
humanoid ADD,
here.
ADHD. This is really funny because Lori's really sitting on that side of me.
Yeah.
But she's not. She's really over there. Oh my God, thank you for all the hearts.
And more. Okay.
And so we like get confused about where we are on the
And then when you
camera.
try to put your finger like
Yeah.
on the screen, it's like
Yeah.
the hearts are here or somewhere.
But
and
they
I
really
want
look like they're over there.
Anyway, I'm very grateful, and so are all the hearts that are being operated, that I am not a heart surgeon. All that, you know.
Yeah. So we were talking about all of life comes to me with ease during life. It never shows up like you think it will.
No.
Like I honestly, when I would resist and react to his crazy, I couldn't even imagine finding it funny. Like, not even imagine. So when I started finding humor, no, but I have another funny story to tell you. So this one time, Trace and Helena, our kids, Trace is going into grade 4 and Helena is going into grade 1 this year, but they were like a little bit younger. So maybe it was like 18 months ago. And Trace was practicing using a fork and a knife, like cutting his own food. And so they had like, you know, the IKEA cutlery that's really fat, thick plastic. So he was using that. And Trace asked a question if he could cut himself with that knife or something. And I'm like, oh no, honey, that knife wouldn't cut you. You're fine. That's why we're giving it to you to practice with. And Travis was in a funny mood, and he just picked that up and he was like, what are you talking about? You can cut yourself with plastic knives. And I'm like, no, you can't. Like, can you? Like, I don't know. I've never, like, not the one that Trace is using. Yes, you can. And he grabs his plastic knife out of the drawer. It was like one of those clear plastic, like the crystal plastic, like the high quality plastic cutlery. He grabs his plastic knife, holds up his finger, and slices his index finger like right in front of me. He was like, see? And he like cuts his finger with a plastic knife. And I'm like, oh my God, you are crazy. Like, you're so crazy. And I couldn't stop laughing. And Trace was like, okay, I get the message. You can cut yourself with a plastic knife. I'm just like, wow, you know, like, interesting. So then I would tease him after that. So now, because there's like this right and wrong thing that we have going on between us a lot of the time, where he just really wants to be right. And how much do we do that in everything? He wants to be right so bad that he would prove it to me by cutting his finger with a plastic knife. And so there was a few times after that, for a little while after that, I would tease him about the plastic knife, and he would feel really like silly about it, right? But like, just like, wow. So
interesting choices.
Yeah. So it's just a funny story to share.
Funny. Oh
You
gosh.
can cut yourself with a plastic knife.
In case you're wondering, you can.
The high quality clear plastic knives.
Yeah. Don't bother with that low quality shit.
No,
plastic.
IKEA. I don't think you could do that with an IKEA knife.
Just go for the high quality plastic cutting utensil.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys want to play with, if you would like to discover what ease could be like for you, and joy and glory, say, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. 10 times in the morning, 10 times in the evening, all day long if you want to. Sometimes I have that going on in my head all the time. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory.
All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory.
Yeah, because your brain, like our brains are like 2-year-olds. And when we are not aware of what's going on in our head, it's usually the crazy that's going on. Like, oh my God, I'm not going to have enough money to pay this bill. Oh my God, I look really fat in these clothes. Oh my God, I don't know, is my car going to start because I had problems with it? So like you have all of these thoughts going on in your head. And those thoughts are the things that are creating your life essentially. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And 99% of those thoughts
Are not yours.
are not yours.
That's another video. Yeah, but we'll just tell you that for now.
Yeah.
So what you can do with your 2-year-old brain is give it a toy. So give it the All of Life Comes to Me with Ease, Joy, and Glory toy. So if you consciously start repeating that in your head, say it out loud while you're driving, you're going to start seeing some things show up differently in your life, possibly.
Yeah.
I wonder.
All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory.
So I think that's our coffee chat for today.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to pop in there?
That's it, I think.
Thank you so much, guys.
And thank you for inviting me to your coffee chat. That was so fun.
It was
This was so fun. And thank you all.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye for now, guys.
Bye.